The RMS Leinster was the Royal Mail steamer Leinster, which carried mail between Dun Laoghaire and Holyhead. She was unique in this way that in the bow section here, she actually had a post office. Now, it was a post office sorting section. They had 30 sorters there. They sorted mail from the time the ship left Dun Laoghaire here to Holyhead, and then on the return sorted mail again for Ireland on the way back. The mail aspect of it was a contract that the shipping company would negotiate with the Royal Mail, the British Post Office, and these contracts were fairly lucrative. They had to provide accommodation for the sorters as well, but the shipping companies would make money on the post office contract. The restrictions were that the ship had to leave on time and arrive on time. If you failed to arrive on time in particular, the company would be fined. One of her good aspects was that she was a very fast ship, and she was reputed to travel, or could travel, at approximately 22 knots, which is very fast for the time. And she depended on this speed in addition to travelling in a zigzag fashion to avoid U-boats. She was carrying mail on the 18th of October 1918. This was a few weeks before the end of the war, the First World War, and she was sunk off the Kish bank by a German U-boat. U-123 was the number of the U-boat. The U-boat, I think, sunk the Leinster on the basis that she was enemy shipping. She was carrying British soldiers, possibly carrying ammunition as well. But British soldiers were returning from Dublin, from Ireland, to the French front at the time, and the German U-boat would have regarded her as a legitimate target. On the day, I believe there was a force 6 wind, which that's a lot of wind, especially if you're in the water. About 10:30, after the ship had been struck, 2 British destroyers arrived, and by a coincidence, a ship called the Helga, which was a fishery patrol vessel, which was rather notorious background. It was the ship that shelled Dublin city centre from down the Liffey in the Easter week. But between the two destroyers and the Helga, the survivors were brought ashore. I think there was about 200 survivors. The casualties was over 500, which is a huge number of people. The people were buried in various places as well. They all weren't buried in the one spot. There was a good number of the soldiers were buried in a cemetery called Grange Gorman. The tragic aspect that I would recall would be that it was the 18th of October 1918, and the war ended on the 11th of November 1918.